Yeah, you'd think so. And sorry, just finally to finish up with those comments, Jimmy says how Michael Nicholson is still in a job is baffling, and Rebel says the silence from Celtic Park on all matters is scary.
I think they're just hoping everybody's watching the World Cup, Dan.
Aye, pretty much, aye. The last little thing that I wanted to get your take on was, we mentioned Hearts there, Keith, but they might have a new manager pretty soon. Rennie Haka, former Feyenoord and Manchester United assistant. Obviously, I don't think we know too much about him, but I mean, from outside, the Hearts project still a pretty exciting one. They've got the Champions League qualifiers coming up. They've still got Tony Bloom. I don't know. I think it would be a pretty appealing job to a lot of coaches.
Yeah, I think so. And also, this will be really interesting, because what you can say with absolute certainty is you look at the managerial appointments that Jamestown have helped Brighton to make, and Union Saint-Gilloise in Belgium.
Yep.
They've got it right almost every time. And, I just think about, the job that De Zerbi did when he came in, and very few people had even thought or touted him for a job in the English Premier League. Absolutely hit the ground running. Great football. So, yeah, I think it's interesting. I wonder if Tony Bloom, because his system is so successful, because his data and analytics have been so useful to him in making these appointments, I wonder if he might kind of think, well, it doesn't matter if we lose Derek McInnes. And I wonder if that might be a mistake, because to minimise the impact that Derek McInnes had on Hearts last season, I think would be a silly thing to do. But then again, as I said to you, the system seems to work. Brighton are absolute proof of that.
It's all about the system, Jacko. I don't think it'll bother Tony Bloom in the slightest. Derek McInnes is.
I think he actually might want a head coach to come in who is much more receptive to.
Yep.
I think Derek McInnes wanted to run in the place. He wanted to be the manager. And I'm not sure that that's exactly what a Tony Bloom first team coach looks like, if you know what I mean.
We talked about it the other night, but it's just a small thing. But the analytic system, they sign players to play in specific positions, Daniel, because the numbers stack up. And I think you could probably argue that towards the end of last season, a lot of the players that were brought in by Jamestown for Derek McInnes either weren't playing or they were actually playing in different positions. That was his prerogative as manager, obviously. He's watched them in training every day, but just for a Jamestown point of view, for a Tony Bloom point of view, I think they would want, as you say, the head coach to take the players in, make them better, and basically play them in the positions that they've been signed to play in. And that might be a stipulation for a new manager coming in.
That's the system, isn't it? That's the system. That's the programme. That's what works.
They will think, look, Derek McInnes did a good job for us, but we will find the next guy who will hopefully be even better. And I agree with you, Daniel, what you said at the start. I actually think the Hearts job now, it is more appealing, because of what they did last season, because of Tony Bloom's backing. And if you look at I had to look the other day at the kind of bookies odds for the next manager, and just the calibre of names even on that list just gives you an idea, or just suggests that a lot more coaches and managers out there are interested in Hearts.
100%. You know Hearts rewrote the whole narrative of Scottish football last year.
Yep.
Everybody sat up and paid attention to it, and they now look like one of the most progressive, front-footed clubs anywhere in the country, anywhere in the UK. So guys that are looking at it going, wow, if you get this right, if you nail this, if you become the first guy to succeed where Derek McInnes just failed last season, win a title, the whole world's going to pay attention to what you're doing. So it's a much more attractive job, a much more attractive prospect than it was before Derek McInnes took it.
Because every manager out there, Derek McInnes done an unbelievable job last season to get Hearts to where he was. But managers everywhere, they've all got an ego. Every manager out there will think,
I could take the next
Derek McInnes can get them within a couple of points of Celtic. I could go there and
doors wide open.